Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Currency Wars is the game mode that has taken the community by storm due to how different its environment is, breaking the limits of amount of party interactions and items that reasonably do not exist in normal HSR. Currency Wars has a very distinct meta that gives rise to different strategies. However, people are sick of running Queen Aglaya forsaking her fashion sense for meta performance, and so I'm here to give you alternatives from the Aglaya monopoly. This video goes through every insane strategy that I know of so far that can grant you the funniest experience possible, not ranked in any specific order. The first strategy involves trying to 3-star Cyrene by hook or by crook, selling every unit you have just to get to it. The reason why is because 3-starring Cyrene gives you every single heir at a 3-star rarity, and day and night demigod emblems to max out the bonds. This is an instant win, and so if you want a last-minute attempt to win big or lose big, selling every unit you have to try and level 3-star Cyrene is actually viable. Again, note the caveat that you can straight up lose instantly. Yes, you've heard that right. The next strategy involves slavery. Harnessing the canon IPC experience, you can simulate the Abjin slave trade in the POV of Oswaldo Schneider and get infinite profit. The steps of performing human trafficking is a lot more complex, so bear with me here as I tell you all of its secrets. Number 1. Look for the long-term gains or shift rotation as your investment environment. Long-term gains gives you free money for a certain amount of refreshes. Shift rotation allows you to re-roll the drop rate of random rarities, which makes the strategy much more consistent. The second step, look for gold panning on plane 1 and plane 2. Gold panning is a strategy that gives you an aventurine when synthesizing a green rarity into a 2-star. The third step, after reaching level 6, start synthesizing 2-star characters and sell them as soon as they reach 2-star. Sell aventurine only if he's a 3-star. Repeat until you have 300 coins. The reason why you have to be level 6 or over is you need enough party space to store every 2-star for later. If you took shift rotation, you can have very high chances of getting green rarity, which makes it more consistent. On the fourth step, after you've reached 300 coins, start 3-starring every green rarity that isn't aventurine. Do this until every green rarity is a 3-star. This will rig the game to give you only aventurine because the chances of getting a green rarity if they are already 3-star becomes lowered. Next, buy as many aventurines and then sell him once he reaches 3 stars. Because buying aventurine is a surplus, you'll never run out of money doing this. And congratulations, you now have an infinite money scheme built off the backs of selling Abjins. This method, just like its real-life counterpart, can be quite messy and filled with RNG. Not everyone can pull it off after all, so don't feel bad about yourself. It's one of the most insane strategies due to its inconsistency and its results. There's a lot better ones, but I think the abuse of the system this strategy gives is by far one of the funniest. P.S. Please do not do human trafficking in real life. This is a popular strategy involving one item and a man, Finon. Finon's mechanic allows him to fix enemy hit RNG to himself, so the plan is simple. First component, activate the full 4 shield bond. This allows better shield strength and stacking of shield effects. Second component, craft 3 spiky armors for Finon which damage enemies based on the current shield. Third component, get other items to make the shield stronger or increase your lucky strike damage. You can also grab Cyrene to enter ult immediately with this item. In every battle, you can have Finon spam his counter skill and watch enemies hurt themselves from the utter insanity of 4 shielded characters developing a spiky defense. Finon in general is a character that has very strong eidolons, so your experience of this strategy may vary. In lower eidolons you will fail some fights, but with even just E0S1 it's a very effective strategy. The next strategy involves Pela as the centerpiece. Pela is one of the fastest characters in Currency Wars in the back row, thus making her a very good contender for double speed boots. However, she also has the fast ultimates that apply a debuff, and her attack itself applies a debuff. You know what that means, right? Pela can use double boots with Solvent to help out chipping away enemy HP. After a certain point, Pela literally takes only one action value to act, and if you have someone like Welt that can prolong the build-up, you have more than 45 Akron stacks in under 45 action value. This can also be abused with the Belobog bond. Give a Belobog bond to Welt and build Welt as a DPS. Give Pela triple boots and watch as Welt not only gets near infinite turns, but rewinding time itself to give you more AV by the end of the fight somehow. Speaking of which, let's talk about Welt, because unlike the real game, Welt is a real 5-star. I already gave you an idea of Welt traveling through time with a Belobog setup, but he doesn't really need it. For Welt to time travel, you need Welt with double boots and the item that gives you energy when AV passes. Having energy characters can make it go crazier, but it's not necessary for a viable clear. If you give Welt enough turns with RMC or Sunday, Welt will start stacking speed boots to the point that his ult not only covers his AV consumption, but becomes a net positive. Since Welt's ult can restore 20 AV, if Welt can get his ults consistently in less than 20 AV, then the fight is basically over and Welt is now time traveling to the past without any worry of dying. With enough luck and a strong enough build, you can even make Welt break the limit of the given 2 cycle and get you an 8 cycle clear. Yes, this is a real and valid run. There's also other variations like Welt with a follow-up attack emblem or an active skill spam bond instead of energy, but it all follows the same principle of allowing Welt to reverse time through rapid ult cycling. The last strategy is qingque as a tourist. Qingque in Currency Wars is great for one very funny reason. She acts with just the right amount that she can feel very strong attacks that can cycle infinitely. It's even funnier if you treat qingque as a tourist. Let's go through 2 of them. The Belobog variation is the slowest one. This strategy involves a Belobog emblem inserted on qingque. This item that gives you SP refund and Sparkle and Belobog characters to then reinforce the loop. The engine of creation attacks after 12 actions from Belobog characters, but since qingque has the Belobog emblem, she triggers this every single time she gambles. When the engine attacks, the character that did the most damage gets a 100% advance. Qingque does enough damage to be this character. So now, Qingque is a Belobog character getting consistent 12 turns because of Sparkle fueling her gambling, and the engine allowing her to loop and stay at the same AV the entire fight. There is a fair amount of RNG that may make it fail, but you can offset that with Ceredra or RMC. The other qingque tourist strategy involves qingque becoming a follow-up character. The follow-up emblem is a very strange emblem. It gives the character that it is wearing it a 10% action advance for every action. For qingque, this triggers every time she gambles. So if you are able to create an environment where qingque can get 10 turns consistently, you've created an infinite loop. But where's the damage? Well, qingque is a Xianzhou character. The Xianzhou bond gives you the Lightning Lord attack that advances every time a Xianzhou character acts. And so, you have a qingque infinite loop with Lightning Lord supplementing the damage. Of course, getting bonds is much more difficult than normal equipment, but we're talking about fun and not exactly practicality. And there you go, that's the entire video. I hope these strategies can help you freshen up your strategies for Currency Wars. And I hope that you guys are gonna have fun with all of these strategies. I hope you guys have fun, and well, I really love Currency Wars because of the amount of strategies that the community has been cooking even after 3 weeks it's released. And I linked all of the sources for these ideas that I originally got them from, and I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do the algorithm stuff, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.